else everybody like Handsome Jack, your hero.
I'm going to keep copying wired thumbnails until they invite me on. Welcome back to the series where I, a voice actor, review voice acting. And we've been reviewing plenty of bad voice acting, as you can see up there. You should totally click that. I definitely didn't. God damn it. But today, I would like to discuss the good variety of voice acting, the best performances in anime, animation, video games, any performance that is captivating, fascinating, intriguing, and downright entertaining. So let's get right into it. But of course, I can't review voice acting in this plain attire. I need to get in my persona, my professional sense. Oh yes. I would like to add before we start this video that this is entirely my opinion, my preferences, and stuff that I love. No doubt you have characters and performances that you love dearly and hold close to your heart, but these are mine, and I want to explain them why. The first clip is the genie from Aladdin.
Does it feel good to be out of there? Hi, where are you from? What's your name?
The genie in Aladdin is one of those super rare cases where, in video games and animation, normally the script is there first, or a skeleton script to really flesh out the characters so the director and the casting agency know, what the character is supposed to be very well. But, with Aladdin, it's one of those rare times where, the script is very much geared around Robin Williams, and you can tell that they've just let Robin Williams just go loose on it.
Ever impressive.
Genie!
He's speeding through different characters and changing voices and making them all feel distinct within one go, and that is very hard to do.
Hello, Aladdin. Nice to have you on the show. Sounds like, here, boy. Come on, Aladdin.
I'd even argue at times that the animation is kind of behind Robin Williams' energy, and it's that kind of energy that he brings to it that I think just makes this a performance that just is burned into all our brains. No doubt if you've watched Aladdin, the genie is what you remember most about it. When I grew up watching Aladdin, all I remembered was the genie and how funny and entertaining he was. And really, it's one of those performances that just ages so well, and you can appreciate it at every point in your life. As a child, it's really funny, it's really ecstatic, and you just love that kind of energy. And as an adult, you can really come to appreciate the amount of love and care that he's put into this performance. And it definitely deserves its spot as one of the best voiceover performances of all time. And now one of my favorite animes of all time, with a dub that is just as amazing, Cowboy Bebop. And let's just get this out of the way now. I don't want to see the whole dub versus sub argument pop up. It's really stupid. If you're an anime fan and you hate dubs, that is such a narrow-minded view. Dubs are a really important part of the anime industry, and it shows the industry in Japan that the West is interested in dubs. Just because you can read subtitles completely fine without hesitation doesn't mean that everyone else can. There are some disabilities out there that require audio help to understand and enjoy a show. If I do talk about an anime dub today, that means in my opinion it has gone above and beyond what the sub offers, and you can get a lot more out of it. Anyway, enough of that BS, let's watch the show.
Look at my eyes, Faye. One of them is a fake because I lost it in an accident.
What a great scene. One of the things that's so amazing about Steve Blum's performance with Spike is that, Spike isn't the most expressive character. In anime, characters are really over the top. And it's kind of refreshing to have a character who, isn't too quick to scream or shout. He has his moments where he's screaming and shouting and he's laughing and he's cracking jokes, and it's fantastic, and it builds this realistic character. But I think one of the best things about Steve Blum's performance is that there's so much expression without actually expressing things. It's very, that sounds so counterintuitive.
What are you going to do? Just throw your life away like it was nothing?
I'm not going there to die. I'm going to find out if I'm really alive. I have to do it, Faye.
I think one of the most compelling things about Spike, and this is totally due to Steve Blum's performance, which is he expresses very intense and very heartfelt emotions without much expression. When he's whispering or when he's talking very softly, you can feel a range of emotions being expressed without any crazy things happening, without him breaking down into tears. But you can feel that. You can feel that pain that he's been through just simple talking and just very slow, monotone, and explaining.
That isn't helping, Spike.
It's not?
And just that level of carefree just really helps you believe in this character. Just simply delivering one line in a way that you can imagine one of your friends delivering it is what makes it. And the fact that they had to do this all while matching lip flaps And the fact that Steve Bloom had barely any experience at this time voice acting is just insane that this dub came out as well as it did. And there's a reason why it's so iconic. Let's talk about the one you guys want me to talk about, Handsome Jack from Borderlands 2. Handsome Jack is amazing.
You want to stop the greatness that is Handsome Jack? Well, come and get me.
Borderlands 1 had a lot of characters. I remember enjoying the game a lot. I remember enjoying all the corny and terrible and cheesy jokes, but I don't think any of the performances were just burned into my brain. Now, Borderlands 2 introduced Handsome Jack, and that shit was amazing. When we're first introduced to Handsome Jack, we're meant to believe that he is the scum of the earth, and he does a damn good job at selling that.
I'm racking my brain trying to think of a name for that diamond pony I bought. I was going to call it Piss for Brains in honor of you, but that just feels immature. Hey, maybe Butt Stallion?
Yeah, I love that. I love this. This line is great. I love it. Because you can imagine a guy, in his office, with an apple, just being an asshole. You can picture it so well. I think one of the comments down here says it best. Whenever he talks to you, I just imagine him on his office chair, half lying on it and spinning around. Let's break down this line.
I'm racking my brain trying to think of a name for that diamond pony I bought. I was going to call it...
So in the first half of the line, he changes up the pace and the intensity of the line a few times. Listen to it really carefully.
I'm racking my brain trying to think of a name for that diamond pony I bought.
Like you can feel his head rocking. I'm racking my brain trying to think of a name. He's like hitting those words very softly and just intensifying the pace slightly on some of the words. And you can really feel his head, you know what I mean? And that's the nuance in it. And then on top of that, right after that, he adds in a bit of stuttering.
I was going to call it Piss for Brains in honor of you, but that just feels immature. Hey, maybe...
There's a few stutters in there. It sounds natural. It sounds like this guy is kind of, he's trying to be an asshole, but he's not really being despicable, And you can tell that Damien Clark really understands this character well. From just that one line, you can unpack so much about this character and the nuance in that performance. You can tell this was probably a guy who was bullied in school and is trying to be cool now. You can tell that, he thinks he's a lot cooler than he is, and you can tell that he's really trying to be an asshole and not really nailing it. And we got that all from 15 seconds of dialogue. Let's also listen to the spoon story from Handsome Jack.
This jackal rushes me with a spoon. A freaking spoon, and I'm dying laughing, right? So I scoop out his stupid little eyeballs with it, and his kids are all, wah! And he can't see where he's going. He's bumping into stuff, and anyway, I don't know. Maybe you had to be there. The moral is, you're a total bitch.
I love this so much. It's so good. There's so much to unpack about this. Like, just from the moment where he, in the start, you can tell he really believes in himself in this story, and you're 100% sold that this guy is delusional. And then halfway through, when he starts laughing mid-sentence, you really do get the sense that this guy is recollecting this story for like the first time in a while, and that he genuinely thinks this is funny. If you told me that Damien Clark was just laughing in the booth at the story on his own, I would believe that. I think many of us would believe that this is genuinely the voice actor laughing. It's that good. It's so convincing. It sounds perfectly natural. And of course, the final line.
The moral is, you're a total bitch.
He just really nails it. The deadpan bitch just really is the ribbon on the box, It's fantastic. I love that story so much. And of course, if his character was only just this one-noted and funny throughout, I think it still would be an exceptional performance. But I think what really elevates Handsome Jack in the minds of the people who played this game and love this character is that towards the end, he gets very desperate, and this character just does a 180, and he's really on his knees, and you can tell that there's real desperation in this character.
Do you have any idea how much I've sacrificed for you? The bandits that have killed and the people have manipulated. Everything I've done was to protect you!
I love that line so much. You can just really tell this man is at the end of this rope, and that he's just on his knees, and that he's moments from losing everything, and that just comes across in this so well. He's so close to erupting, and he's holding it back, and then he remembers that he needs to stay calm to convince her, and then he delivers the next line.
The bandits that have killed and the people have manipulated.
And you can hear at the end of this line real genuine anger of a guy who's about to lose. It's just really fantastic. There's so many levels.
No! This can't be happening! This can't be happening! You are a bandit, and I am the goddamn hero!
when he screams that "I am a goddamn hero" line. God, it gets me every time, because you just get the full character in one line. It's so good. Let's talk about Lad Russo from Baccano. Now, Baccano is what I consider to be the best English anime dub of all time.
People will think you're just a bitter, grumpy old man. Did I say that out loud?
Damn it, lad. I don't have time for this. Make tracks, why don't you?
Oh, come on. Is that any way to welcome your very own nephew?
I love this performance for many reasons. One, he really captures the dangerous psychopath sound without having to tell you he's a dangerous psychopath. You know the moment he walks in and starts talking that this is a guy who's gonna kill people.
But why not, Uncle? After all, what you're planning to do is search until you find the ones responsible.
And one thing that is really hard to do is intensity in acting. A lot of people think that volume equals intensity, and that is not the case. And this, I honestly feel, is one of the best showcases of how you can be intense without needing volume.
And then take them by the throat and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze until they foam like a dog, and then squeeze some more. When the rides are about to pop out, you squeeze just a little more.
You really hear the intent to kill, and like it's nothing to him. And you can hear him walk up this staircase of intensity while he's squeezing his throat. Listen.
Them by the throat and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze until they foam like a dog, and then squeeze some more.
Every time he goes more, you can really hear him driving that home. Listen to it.
When the rides are about to pop out, you squeeze just a little more.
And this is our first introduction to the character, and in this one scene, we know straight away that this character is a nutcase and that we don't want to mess with him.
Come on, put up your dukes. You think you're Pete Hammond? You're like Jack Dempsey.
He just really sells every single punch. You know, often in anime, I find that like when there's a fight going on and there's dialogue, it sounds like they're two separate things, that the fight is happening and the dialogue is happening completely separate. Whereas here, you know, the dialogue is the punch. The punch really emphasizes the dialogue and vice versa. It's fantastic. Now let's talk about The Last of Us with Joel and Ellie played by Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson. This is one of my favorite scenes from the whole game. It's fantastic, and it just, my God.
Not her, you know.
What?
Maria told me about Sarah.
Ellie?
I love it when he says Ellie, because you can just feel everything with just one word. You can feel the frustration, the despair, the sadness, and just how much he is just holding on to everything right now.
You're right. You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad. And we are going our separate ways.
Damn, that scene f***ed me up every time, man. It's in voiceover a lot of the time when actors do children, it's kind of like you can sometimes just kind of tell it's an adult doing it. But with Ellie, you're really sold that this is a kid. They talk like a kid, they act like a kid. It's just amazing. And if you haven't played this game, please go play it. It's so good. I know this is gonna sound like a meme, but Donkey from Shrek is great. How am I trying to sell that Shrek is amazing acting?
Okay, ogres are like onions.
They stink?
Yes. No.
Oh, they make you cry?
No.
Oh, you leave them out in the sun, they get all brown, start sprouting little white hairs?
No. Layers.
Eddie Murphy as Donkey is, I would argue, a similar position to Robin Williams as Aladdin. The character is kind of built around the actor and the actor's performance. It's really fantastic.
Oh, you both have layers. Oh. You know, not everybody likes onions. Cake! Everybody loves cakes. Cakes have layers.
I don't care.
There's not really much I can say except that Eddie Murphy is just extremely expressive like Robin Williams, and it's the same kind of deal.
You know what else everybody like? Parfait.
And next up, I want to talk about Liam O'Brien as Dr. Tenma in Monster.
Saving your life made me realize that the weight of each life is equal. No one's better than anyone else. That's why no one has the right to take another person's life. As a doctor, I lived by those beliefs for the last 9 years because of you!
Back when Liam O'Brien used to do a lot of anime, I just loved his performances, and him as Dr. Tenma is my personal favorite. The fact that he's also matching lip flaps, but absolutely nailing this character, the intensity and the absolute turmoil that Dr. Tenma goes throughout this series, I couldn't imagine anyone doing a better job.
You talk too much, Junkers.
Johan! Don't do this! Mr. Junkers doesn't know your identity, but I do. I was your attending physician.
Dr. Tenma's life is just constantly ruined, and his life views are disrupted, and he's put in situations that he would never want to be in. And Liam O'Brien just brings these situations to life with just how full of despair he sounds delivering some of these lines, especially right like this one.
Stop it! You can't just go around killing!
Why not?
Why not? Because a human life is precious, don't you see that?
He just sounds like his whole life is crumbling before him, and you could really feel all of that. Making it sound like you're losing control over your voice due to being in a very intense emotional situation, and being able to do that constantly over and over again, convincingly, is amazing. And Dr. Tenma just nails it throughout this whole thing. And with that, I think we're done for today. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do share it around. It means a lot to me. And please smash the like button and all that stuff and comment. I have a Patreon as well if you'd like to support me. And if you do want me to review more voice acting in future, please let me know down below what you'd like to see me review. Do you want more good voice acting, more bad voice acting, or would you like me to review voice acting of you, the viewers? I would love to maybe do that. I hope me dissecting these performances a little bit is a bit insightful and that you enjoyed it. And without further ado, I will leave you beautiful weebs to it. So, bye.